Hello and welcome to this Warno 1v1 game played on Surrounded Duel between Gucci Gang Hots playing as 101st Airborne, and he's going up against Shai-Hulud playing as 56Y VDV. So we'll go through the deck reviews, then we'll talk about the map, the matchup, the deployments, and the game, and as always, timestamps in the description. Right, so this is the deck review for Gucci Gang Hots, and he's playing as 101st Airborne. So we'll go through it tab by tab. Really nice div on this map, frankly. Really nice div. First things first, you need 3 cards of supply because the Slammer and the 155s and the Meeps, but particularly the Slammer and the 155s, really drain your supply. You will run out. So you need 3 cards. Now, if you look at the CVs, we got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we could simply swap this out for an extra supply card, and that would be the Chinook, and that would go with the Slammers. Now, that is pretty rough. What I do is I don't bring all 3 cards of Meeps. I'm pretty sure I get rid of this one. Or you could keep that one and get rid of one of these, right? But yeah, 2 infantry CV cards. These guys are only 3 blokes, and that's really hard to justify. It really is quite hard to justify. I'm not sure I recommend it. So, yeah, it's hard to just... The other thing is no M60 spam, right? Anyway, you need a card of somebody in the Blackhawk because the Blackhawks are really, really good. You drop off the guys. So I've actually got one of the arrow rifles in the Blackhawk. And then I'd probably downvet these, because if it's a 40-minute game, you will run out of infantry. So, I mean, this should probably be upvetted, because it's a massive mega death squad, right? But the regulars I have downvetted, because you do tend to run out of infantry. So, but yeah, the Black Hawk, basically, you drop... Because these are the guys you buy, to shoot people or whatever. And then you buy these if you can afford to, and then you use the Black Hawk to just run over the enemy and shoot, and it soaks up hits for your Apaches and so on. So that's a 2-pointer. Yeah, so what you could do, right, is get rid of this. Because it's 3 blokes. I mean, I understand it's 3 per card. But it's 3 blokes. So you could get rid of this, bring the MG team, or even the 50 cals are actually not so bad now, but I think the MMG teams are still more cost effective. And yeah, and then you get rid of a helo, so whichever one you want, right? Honestly, you don't need that many Apaches. And then you can get the 3 per card Humvee CV. Now you've actually still got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 CVs, which is fine. 6, 7. Anyway. Yeah, Slammer, this one, I don't know, I don't think you need it in the Chinook. Don't think that's helping you, because now I mean, you've got a bunch of Blackhawks now, so you should be fine. If you need loads of helos, and then yeah, these and that. This thing at close range is super, super, super good. At long range, it's useless. It really is quite impressive. But 2 of these at close range can 1 volley a meep, and 2 of them at max range will do less than 1 damage to a HP, less than 1 HP damage to a unit in a building. You can run it like this if you want. The deltas, right? So you want 1 at max vet in the Delta Force Humvee, because that's going to go at 130 kilometers an hour. And then these guys, I would be bringing in the grenade launcher Humvee, because the grenade launcher is super useful, and they're still airborne forward deployed, they're still going at 100, right? It's just, where you really need to get there super mega hyper fast, you send one of these, and where you don't need to, you send one of these. I agree with the helo choice, right? Because it can soak up a hit, and you send it just in front of your Apache. Now, these guys, I don't actually bring anymore. I used to, and then I was like, man, I can't afford any recon, and I can't see anything, and now I'm dead. So I bring the sniper in the grenade launcher Humvee. Even though it's only 3 availability, they're only 70 points, and you get the grenade launcher as well. Whereas this is, 85, which admittedly is not actually that much more, but I found the snipers to be quite useful. If it doesn't work for you, just switch it back. I mean, yeah, admittedly, this is only 85, but this is also an optics, right? This is all it's 6. It's 2 optics for 70 points, whereas this is 1 optics for 85, right? AA, yes, I agree with this. You need these. You need these super good at the start, because you don't have any airborne forward deployed AA. So the counter to 101st Airborne, if you don't buy this, is just to open with your own helo and just go kill the Delta Force. So you need these to cover your deltas, right? So how do we get it in there? And then, yeah, do you need this many meeps? So this is, I mean, yeah, it's getting to the point now where it's like, why don't I just show you my deck and then you can just do what I do? But I'm sure you're appreciating what I'm saying here, which is that you really do need these. And so I don't bring the Chaparral, so I can bring this. Now, admittedly, that can hurt you, and so I also bring all 6 fighters. So you could keep the Chaparral if you want, and just find a way to bring this, and that would be get rid of something here. So you'd have to lose 3 meeps, which is obviously very tough. It's very tough, but I mean, if the first 5 meeps don't solve the problem, I'm not sure another 3 would, frankly. And then yeah, I bring this, right? Or you could get rid of the Chaparrals and bring the meeps, but I personally I get rid of the Chaparrals and bring 2 more Eagles. But I think this might actually just be a better shout. I think you've probably come to a better conclusion there. Right? The other thing is, right, so the Apaches, right, I understand it's the Apache div, it's the Apache div, it's the Apache div, but I only run 2 Apaches, and then I have 2 Heavy Hogs instead of one of the Apaches, because the Heavy Hogs just dump their rockets straight away, and then you can go heal them or whatever, and you get 2 in a card, and 2 of these is basically the price of this, but yeah, having 3 Apaches is fine. I mean, there were 4 before, right? But the idea is the enemy's going to keep chucking fighters at your Apaches. But yeah, you open with 3 of these, basically, and the Apache should be behind these 3, and you still might just die. But the point is you buy the DAPs before you buy the Apaches, and then they should send the helo to kill the DAPs, and then a combination of this and these and those and this thing should kill the enemy fighters, and then once all the enemy fighters are dead, then you bring out the Apaches. Yeah. Honestly, like, it is a strong div, but I was like, oh, it's broken now because of the slammer, but I've since changed my mind on that, having played it a lot. Anyway, his opponent is playing 56Y, which is a good div, but he's made some crucial errors here. First of all, these things are shit now. I cannot overstate, just don't bring those. So you want the Noners, you can get 2 of them at 2 there, and then you use that to just snipe grenade launcher positions or MMG positions or whatever, and then mortars for smoke, right? Because this one goes almost 6 kilometers. There's just 1 Soviet mortar that the Czechs get it as well, and it just goes way further than all the other ones. I mean, it goes further than the 120mm. It doesn't make any sense, but it's been like that for a while, so I guess it's staying like that. Yeah, so starting at the beginning, so we got the Belazor here, because you don't get cheapo CVs, so okay. 2 cards of supply on this div's probably fine, especially seeing as I just killed your RT tab. Why is there some reason you want to bring this? I understand that you can sell it, but you can sell this one as well. It goes a hell of a lot faster, so 7 dudes, RPG, smoke, 2 per card. 4 guys, 7 dudes. Oh, this is that. Okay, it's probably the best one. I mean, it's only 2. Grenade launcher for 30 points. Listen, you need to be bringing the grenade launcher, right? The one that, the actual grenade launcher one, right? What I will say is, okay, so he's got a card of MI8 MTV guys. Admittedly, they are mega expensive. The RPG-16, I mean, it goes pretty far, but I think there are better options in this div, such as the Afghansti with the RPOs, which are way better than the ones in 35Y, right? So I'd get rid of that and replace it with the Afghansti. And then I mean, these are 5 dudes. I understand that this has rockets on it, but you know what else has rockets on it? This, and it comes at 12 per card. So this is definitely the better option for that, and then you still get your rockets. I understand the rockets aren't as big. It doesn't matter, you get 12 per card. And then, yeah, we got the Mega Squads, 14 dudes. Okay. Reese are nice. Reese's Pieces, which I've never had because I'm not in the US, so... I would just be getting a second card of BMD2s there. And... Oh, it's rough because you've not got the grenade launcher squad, which is really nice because it goes in buildings, and on a map like Surrounded Duel, whoa, you're sort of going to wish you had something like that. So I don't think you need the Reese and the Afghansti because they do the same thing, and the Afghansti is definitely the better option. I understand that it's nice, the Reese is really cool, and this vehicle looks really cool, I get that. But I would rather just have 6 grenade launchers. I suppose I'm just a boring person. I'll leave it in there, but you know my thoughts on the matter. Anyway, no ATGM vehicle is a big sad. But yeah, card of these, and this, I think that'll make sense. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 CVs. And then, yes, the Spetsnaz grew in the grenade launcher one, that makes sense. Dershamo tries Resvedka in the Resvedka BMP2D, that makes sense. So this is a 3-point slot, right? So do you need this? I understand that it has exceptional optics. In fact, this would be the one I'd get rid of because, like, so you've got, you know, slow recon, big HP. You've got fast recon, wheeled vehicle, right? Honestly, some people bring just this, Dush Razvedka in the AGS-17, and then they've just got a bunch of grenade launchers at the start, and they just absolutely cremate you. It's really hard to face, so honestly, I'd try that. And then I will say that it's like, okay, this has exceptional optics, and it is really nice against infantry, I get that. But you don't have an ATGM car with its good stealth and its speed, right? To go around the sides and to hold ground and so on for very cheap. And given that you only have 1 card of ATGMs here, I think you definitely need this more than you need this. Like, don't get me wrong, it's nice to have because it can actually see the enemy in the buildings, and then it just deletes them. So, but you've got enough grenade launchers and stuff now. I think this is a core unit that you absolutely need to cover your flanks and stuff. AA. Oh, what, you had this as well? Well, I mean, right, I don't understand why you're bringing this. This goes faster. But what you should be doing is bringing this, because it's got a ZU on it. Well, okay, I mean, it depends if you come up against healers and stuff, but if you really want this gun thing, well, now you've got a sort of gun thing, right? And then you can get rid of this, and now you've got 3 more AP. And now you can get that again if you want. Don't really recommend it. I think you should be bringing another plane or something. Yeah, I mean, I suppose you could leave that at Novak, given that, you know, you've only got 2 AA things here. Helis... The AA ones are just crap, man. I mean, look at this. Compare that to the one that the other guys get. It's just not worth it. I prefer this because it's got mega giga rockets on it, and so it just shoots the rockets. And then you just go land it. Whereas this, it's got less range on the rockets. The gun is allegedly better, but it's not on a turret, so the whole thing has to turn. And so it's not that amazing, frankly. I appreciate it has 10% of ECM, and that is nice to have. Another thing you can do is bring the Escortinis and just launch the... I mean, these are the true mega giga rockets, right? Incidentally, if you really want AA capability, well, this is 2 per card, so you'd want to bring that. So why not do this? Ta-da, right? And you can still bring your Jushk gun if you really want it, for whatever reason. Right. Don't bring this. It has to fly right over the target to drop the bombs, and that's just not going to happen. So if you, I understand that you're like, I need some sort of bomber, and honestly, the napalm one isn't so bad. But you can just bring this one because it's got rockets on it, and use that against the infantry with the gun. It's actually not so bad. Or you can get the LGBT if you want, but you don't have seed to cover it, so it's kind of hard to justify that. I appreciate that there's a 3 AP slot up for grabs here. So you could, for example, you could get rid of this and then bring this, and then, like, so you've got 6, 7, 8, and then you get rid of this one, and now you've got 4 AP, and that means one more helo, and, you could upvet these and bring 2 of them like that, or you could, like, just bring one in a car if you just really want one there quickly, which probably makes a lot of sense. And then you've got 2 AP to get, that healer you always wanted, whether that be this one for whatever reason, or or this one, or another one of these. That can work. Or you can, you can bring this if you really want, but he's dead, Jim. It's dead, Jim. Just wait for the RT rework. Maybe that'll fix it. We don't know, do we? The alternative is, you could get rid of this guy, right? And then you could put him here. And is that that's a 3-pointer? Okay, whatever. Just get the extra healer. So I think we've made some improvements here. And, you've still got 8 CVs and so on. Anyway, let's cast the game. Right, so with that out of the way, here we are on Surrounded Duel. Basically, there's a town fight in the middle. Some people absolutely despise this map. I like it. It's just, you gotta think, because of, because of the buildings and stuff. Some people don't like fighting around buildings, because they just want to drive over the open field and win, basically. I don't know. I like the map. Ultimately, there's 2 side zones that you can fight for. If you are an open div, you can just push on this side, right, and just defend here, and just push on this side, and, because basically right should get alpha and left should get golf. People say the map's one-sided because the red side alpha is easier to lose than golf is. Not only is this incorrect, it's also red gets a much better time in mid because there's a church there on the red side, which lets you see really far. You've got a building here that lets you see all the way down there. Admittedly, blue has a similar one, right? But this one's slightly better because all the reinforcements come down this road, whereas the red ones sort of come here and then bifurcate, so this isn't actually as useful, whereas this is. But this is the real killer. It really helps you win this zone. So I like the map. In terms of the divisions, 56Y you don't see a lot of, but it is strong. There's only one top player who plays it in the tournaments, but last time I played against him with it, he beat me in a 1v1, and that's Scuff. Last time he played 56Y in a 1v1 against me, he beat me. 2v2 I won, though. Anyway, 101st Airborne is super popular since the Slammer edition. It's probably the most popular div in the game. At least on ranked, it's all I see. That and 6Y. Anyway, looking at the deployments, 56Y gets 4 Proto SAS. So they've got nice RPGs, they've got Stingers, they've got Smoke. There's only 4 of them. And they get a grenade launcher transport. So very powerful opener. You can't open helis into 56Y. And he's not sending one to the church. A lot of people just don't know about this, because it's so bloody dark. You can't see anything. But, the light of God shines through and so on. So, yeah, he should go in there as opposed to in here for obvious reasons. And then we've got one going here, one going here, one going here, right? Then behind that, we've got, okay, so on the far left, we've got, for whatever reason, he brings these GTMU things. The grenade launcher one might not be so bad, but the other ones he brings as well, and I'm not sure why. But yeah, we got a Conkers, which is going there, which takes you past the enemy, so that's not smart, really. You'd want to put that here, otherwise then it'd go down this road. But if you put it there, it'll automatically try and find the fastest route and just get itself killed. It's obviously not very intelligent. You do have to babysit it. RPG-16 guys, they got 1,000 meters on the RPG, which admittedly in this case isn't so useful because this guy doesn't actually have that many vehicles. 101st Airborne. And then another RPG-7, RPG... Oh, he's going into the church, but with the infantry, not the recon. RPG... Saperi brings the 5-man Saperi squads for the transport. I spoke about this in the deck review. Basically, none of these units should be in his deck. The T-62 he can keep. That's a good one. And then, yeah, Belazor for Bravo Delta. No, that's not how you do it. You go Bravo Alpha, and then you buy another one for Echo Delta. Or you can go Bravo Alpha and then back to Echo Delta if you want, but generally I always open 2 CVs. Because, yeah, how are you going to get this? You're going to have to buy another one. And also you've not capped Echo. And then we got Saperi Reese and the Metis squad, which is worth bringing. So, switching to his opponent, we got 101st Airborne. And we got Delta Force going very fast. Delta Force going very fast. Delta Force going slightly less fast, but still very fast. You don't want to put it in here. You don't want to put it in here because you can't hide. If there's somebody in here with an IFV, you can't hide. Wherever you put your guy in here, he gets shot by this. It's not so obvious when you're on this side, because you're like, no, I can hide. No, you can't. This can see you. And it just dies. So you have to put it there. Or, you know, or here, right? And then at least when they start shooting you, you can just jump behind the building and not die. I learned that the hard way. That was a very tough game for me. Anyway, Rifles. Dragon. Which is super useful. Dragon 2s are super useful here. The issue he's got is that he doesn't get grenade launchers. But this guy he's brought a lot of grenade launcher vehicles, but he's not brought the infantry grenade launcher. Air Rifles Dragon, right? Fire team, CV guy, only 3 in the squad, but it's cheap. He's got 1 for Alpha, 1 for mid as well. So Air Rifles Dragon, Pivads, super useful. Air Rifles Leader. And yeah, the Delta. And then behind that, we got the Dragon, Pivads, Meep Abrams. So yeah, he doesn't bring the MMG teams. My deployment has a lot more MMG teams in it. Just because they're so useful for just getting a load of guys in there. Anyway, let's cast the game. Right, so they're off, and it's time for me to thank the generous channel joiners. Generously joining the channel, they get their names on the screen, they get the videos early, they get members exclusive videos. They also get a Steam key for my game Hearst Hero, which is on Steam. The link will be in the description. The store page is live now, and yeah, if you could wishlist that, that's a great way to help out the channel for free. If you are a channel joiner, you can fill out the survey to get your key, or you can just message me on Discord. With proof of joinership or whatever. So the Delta Force at max vet goes super duper fast because Special Forces gives you a plus 30% speed boost at max vet. It's actually linked to the veterancy. So he gets in first, as you can see. The issue he's going to have is that the grenade launchers are going to kill him, so he needs to hide behind this or he's going to die. I would not go towards the grenade launcher. I don't think that's a good idea. You might be able to... Okay. Well, what do I know? I just sort of assumed he'd die. I assumed also that this would go backwards, so it doesn't get shot. But, my bad. Anyway, little bit of not noticing here. He opened Eagle to cover the Delta Force, and the Delta Force are dead now. But anyway, they accomplished their goal, which was to get an arm in mid, I suppose. So he's had to open the Eagle to cover the Delta Force, and that's why, if you're watching this, Gucci Gang Hots, you need to bring those 3 AA helos, like we spoke about in the deck review, because you can buy all 3 of those at the start for 100 and... what are they, 60 points each? So it's 180 points for all 3. Whereas this is 270 for 1. And so you cover your opener with the triple AA helo thing. Now, admittedly, they would have to sit pretty far back in this matchup because he has forward deployed AA. So, yeah, this thing's decent, but I prefer the Okrana with the Metla. Not because the Metla thing is better than this. It is worse. But because it's 12 per card and doesn't come with a 5 HP guy. Where is he? Did he die already? Because these are in a separate thing, right? No, hang on. Yeah, it is. It's this one. So yeah, the 5 HP guys really let the side down. So he's brought up the aero rifles now. And he's bringing that one over there. And yeah, the aero rifle's not in a great spot here, so I assume that he probably thought this was cover, and who can blame him? It is darker than this, but it's not. So you got to go from here to there, right? And yeah, it's hard to tell who's winning, because Blue's units are more expensive, so when he loses them it's a bigger deal. The grenade launchers are going to be a pertinent issue. Got that word in there, are you proud of me? But Blue's on the +2, and it's going to be a +3 now, because he actually owns this one on the left. And, you know, the Reese is powerful, but it's only 5 guys, and that's why the Afghansti is better, because they get the RPOA, which admittedly is not as good as the Reese, but it's a bigger squad, and they also get an SVD and 2 machine guns, and Resolute, and Mountaineer, so they go faster through forests. They should just change the name of that trait. It should be Forester or something. Lumberjack. And yeah, the Pivad's very powerful. He needs to use the vehicles on that, really. Although it has just run out of ammo, so... And yeah, looks like Red's winning in mid. I mean, the Meep purchasing another Meep, I don't think was a good idea, because he's struggling for units, and this is another reason why it's better to bring the MMG teams, or the HMG teams. I lost a game to somebody who was using the HMG teams, so that, you know, maybe they're viable now. I think I just played like crap, frankly, but anyway. I was on the bad side of Vertigo, so it's not my fault. But yeah, whenever he wants to cover ground, he has to drop an 85-point package because of the transport on it, right? Whereas if he had the MMG teams, they never would have got through here, because there'd be 2 MMG teams here and they would have fired, right? And you can just cover, you know, like over here he would have had another unit. There would have been another unit there, the MMG team, and maybe that would have helped. And buying the Meeps, I mean, the Meeps are killing people. It's just he's getting messed up in terms of he's just getting mega flanked, basically, and he can't do anything about it. And once the Meeps lose the guys in front of him, I was going to say, I'd be surprised if that hit. If once the Meeps lose the guys in front of them, then they can't see anything, right? And you see that here. So he's bought the DAP and the quick fix, which is a good idea, but he's got to be careful, because this might just shoot him. The Pivads were doing good work, but it's run out of ammo, and the other one died, so yeah, the DAP should be good as long as it doesn't get too close. And the Meeps aren't really helping him now, because he's lost his infantry screen, right? You need screening forces in front of your stuff. So the main advantage of the DAP is that autocannon that just killed him. The rockets themselves aren't actually that amazing. It's just, obviously, they've got the big range advantage. But yeah, there you go. And that's why this should have been in front of that, which is why he bought it, but he just missed microed and sent the other one first. This has 40% ECM, so there was a high probability that this wouldn't have died. Now, having said that, even if this did die, it costs, like, less than the other one. So if this dies, so the other one doesn't die, that's fine. Meat Pit did go down to what must have been a Conco's side shot. I don't see how else that would have... Yes, that seems to be a Conco's side shot there. And yeah, the double Abrams purchase was not ideal, and he's being punished for that quite heavily. And he stopped buying the... So he's trying to plug the gaps with Aero Fire Team AT4, which, yes, but those MMG teams, or even HMG teams, would serve the role better. Aero Rifles Dragon 2 take out the T-62, but yeah, he's got these Meeps and he just can't use them, because now the Helo's going to kill him. So yeah, if he'd kept buying Pivads, that wouldn't be a problem, or if he'd had a Stinger or 2 in here, wouldn't be a problem. And did you notice how this dodged both? Obviously it's all RNG, but it's got twice as much ECM, so that's why it goes first. I get the impression he knew that, and that's why he bought it. He just sort of messed up on the micro, because they were here, and then he sent them across, right? So yeah, the Dragon guys, they're doing a lot of work against these vehicles. It's just they're expensive, and you know they need to be supplemented by other stuff these guys are gonna die. Does he notice? He's not noticing. He noticed now. Is he buying AA now? Yes, he's got 2 stingers. Would have been better to buy the pivads because they double as the anti-infantry. Admittedly, the mule does shoot infantry, and that's why they're coming in the mule to shoot at the infantry. But yeah, it's looking pretty diabolical now for blue. He's lost a lot of units here, and that missed its missile, so he's going to come back and try again, presumably. So this is going to land, and what you do is you press T, shift, and just click, 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 because you know where it's landed because you've just seen it. But I guess usually, you know, F1 click to ping that, so you keep it. You know, you don't have to keep it in your head, the specific location. F1 click, and then there you go. It's on there, and you can use any. You can use F2 if you want. These haven't been given unload orders. And yeah, it's looking pretty bad for blue, I gotta tell you, because he's just not got any units. Admittedly, his meeps are still alive, but you noticed how he just got completely rolled in mid, and that was the lack of... That was buying the meeps, basically, because the tanks, they take time to pay for themselves, right? 1 meep, that's fair enough, but 2 at this stage in the game is not ideal. And okay, is he gonna smoke? He did, but he left it too late. Yeah, the CV's dead. It's looking pretty diabolical for blue at this stage in the game. And yeah, if that was a Pivads there, obviously it wouldn't be in the building. But if that was a Pivads, it would have gone zzz, and this would be dead. Because even if the first round misses, the other ones don't. So yeah, we just got these meeps not contributing anything. It's not great. Admittedly, right, I mean, this took off again, so he could have shot it again, but I think he just wasn't looking. And yeah, there's a lot of that going on here. Like, the meep needs to be brought over to shoot at the BMP2s, as does this one, which basically that's the order from before it routed. And he's bought another meep here. He keeps doing it. So we got a Pivads coming now, so that's good. I don't watch these ahead of time, it's obvious, isn't it? Well, okay, it's obvious if you've played 3,000 hours of Warno instead of doing something more important with your life. But basically, they keep the... So he's noticed it and he's cancelled it. But they keep the old order from before they routed. And so he will have told it to reverse to there when it was here, and then it routed, and then it's like... goes to here, and then it gets its mojo back, and it tries reversing to there again. So you need to keep that in mind. And imagine if this was a Humvee TOW 2 and an MMG team, you would hold this ground for 80 plus whatever, or it could be a Humvee TOW 2 and a Pivads, which you do have in the deck, because that also covers you against the AA, and you would be holding that for half the price of this. And then you could have 2 more infantry in here for that half. And that's what... I mean, that's the game. At the end of the day, you know, there's a lot that goes into it, right? The RNG is a component and so on, but if you've got units somewhere not doing anything, if you've over-invested somewhere, then there are places where the enemy is stronger than you, and we see that here. Now, having said that, Red is kind of stalling out a bit here, right? The meeps are engaged now, and look, they're killing stuff, right? I think that might get side shot. Yes, that was a side shot. That meta should not have done that much damage. So if that T-62 hits him, no, it aimed for the other one because of the way auto-targeting works. It uses the Steel Division 2 system, so once your cohesion goes to 0, or this bar goes to full, the suppression bar, your dangerousness stat goes to 0, because in SD2, as soon as you get fully suppressed, you can't shoot back, and you stay like that for quite a while. In Warno, you can still shoot, and given that there are tanks with auto-loaders and stuff like that, admittedly, not either of these, but given that there are tanks with auto-loaders and so on, which maintain the same rate of fire regardless of cohesion, you need to make sure that unit's dead. So it's just a holdover from SD2, and they just never bothered to fix it. We've been complaining about that one for 4 years, but you know how it is. You need targeted complaining. You gotta basically just like the way we got so many things fixed in this game was just we just complain about nothing else but one thing for weeks and weeks and weeks. The last big one was the sound exploit, right? I think that was our last big win. I mean, in terms of like massive ones, there have been more smaller things. But yeah, the sound exploit basically you used to be able to hear any unit anywhere on the map. Admittedly, you can still hear them from like 3, 4, 5 kilometers away from the like. So he could probably still hear. Maybe not that, but once it gets to here, he'd probably be able to hear it. But it used to be you could hear them anywhere. So you go into a 10v10 and you just go like this. Yeah, RT there, RT yeah, I think that's the fob, yeah, and then you just blow that up, and it was just... And we were told by the Steel Division 2 crowd, yeah, we asked them to fix that, they didn't fix it, because they can't, it's a engine limitation. Nah, man, you're just not complaining enough, it's a complaining limitation. So yeah, that's basically fixed now. Admittedly, the range is still a bit too big, in my opinion, but whatever. Anyway... Red managed to take this zone while we were yapping, and he is on a +2, but then Blue managed to take it back. Now, you'll notice that the meeps aren't dying, which is very, very good news, right? And he's held here, and Red has kind of just kept walking into him across this field, which admittedly is not ideal, right? He basically should have put an ATGM in here, and one, you know, somewhere else where you can see... Where's that church? There. So that doesn't help you in this case. And then he should have used his infantry in this, because like this is where he can do stuff, right? Whereas the meeps, he can't really kill those, unless he buys that cluster howitzer, which he does have. It's very bad now, but it is in his deck. Oh no, what's going on here? He's got smoke, so he can smoke, but the really funny thing is everybody brings the smoke CVs and nobody uses the smoke. They just kind of forget. Anyway, this thing is really not very good because it has to fly directly over the target to drop the bombs, and it's very slow. So the AT plane is a much better idea. 2 cards of that AT plane. But he hasn't got any AA apart from the 2 stingers, so he loses the... And he did have an eagle, but the eagle wasn't up. So that was a loss that did not have to happen. Of course he had the VADs, right? So this, you want to pull him over your stingers now. So come over here. And then the stingers should shoot him, and then you turn around. Okay, he didn't quite get hit by the stingers, but this didn't get shot either, and this should win that fight. Because, I mean, this costs 195, and this is 270, so is he going to right-click it, or is he just going to forget? We're going for the forget. No. Is it just doing it itself here? Yes, it's okay. It's a shame, really. You probably could have got that. And as you can see, the T-62s don't do a lot of damage to the meeps. That was 1 damage there. So the meeps are powerful. It's just basically Blue could have not lost so much ground if he'd bought them later and sorted out his front line first and just have 1 meep, right? And, you know, move it to where it's needed and then buy the next one. Of course, it's easy when you can see everything and you don't actually have to click anything. You can just yap, right? So we got another meep coming in. And yeah, the Delta Force, the Carl Gustav doesn't have much pen. The thing is, it'll probably be a side shot. But what he should be doing is using the meeps on the tanks, right? Like that. Yes, perfect. Did you see how he synchronized that there, right? Got the meep on it and the Delta at the same time. Very powerful gaming. Yeah, and this is, you know, what? Don't sell this, right? Heal it up and just keep soaking up those rounds. Green Braze ODA, getting the side shot there. And another one. Eagle's staying up now. The lesson has been learned. What you do is you give it shift Q orders back here. Otherwise it just has this habit of just flying into the middle of the map and dying. I think something to do with it is like the fire at will thing, but if you turn that off, I'm pretty sure it just doesn't fire its missiles properly, so yeah, Red kind of throwing And here we go. So he's got the ATAS now, and you'll notice he didn't buy that first. He bought the DAP first, so that, you know, the fighter can kill the DAP and what have you, and hopefully the fighter dies and what have you. And now he's got the ATAS, and he's got all the stingers in front of it, and now he's going to land it. He's going to land it right now. He's going to immediately land that ATAS so that it doesn't die, right? Because if it died, that'd be really bad, right? He dodged that one, so now he's definitely going to land it. He's getting shot so many times here, right? He's going to land right now. Is this just out? It's just run out of ammo. And now he's going to land it and heal it up. And you see the Eagle is up as well. That's another prerequisite for using the... And the Apache dies. And this is the thing that was supposed to be in front of it to soak up the bullets. And what happened to the Eagle? Did the Eagle die or something? No, it's just back here not engaging the MiG. Please, just right-click him. Oh my god. And now it will automatically engage on its way around. And, I mean, this is just a horror show. Right, well, that was all very exciting. Anyway, so he's got some aero rifles AT4 here, he can bring them in. Really, I was expected to see like a stabilization of the front and then the slammers, right? The slammers. Super nice on this map. You do need to get it nice and close. But yeah, you gotta be super careful. And this is why 101st is not S tier, in my opinion. After having played it a lot, like the Hilo Micro has to be perfect, otherwise it just dies, and it's one per card. So you've only got a couple of them if you actually want to have the rest of the deck. You know, the Apaches, you've only got a couple of Apaches. And the jets that come and kill them are like 4 per card, right? The big 21 bis AA. Very popular. And so it's super hard to play in that regard. It's super hard to use the Helos. But on a map like this, 101st has a nice time. Also, it doesn't have grenade launchers or auto cannons, which are still okay. I mean, they're not as good as they used to be, but they're alright. So once this gets hit, you can land it, or you can just come heal it, right? Or you can just sell it. You obviously, the point is that you want them to take one hit. You want them to get to the point where they're not going to get one shot, right? So you take the first hit, right, and then now it can get one shot, so now you send it back and heal it. Of course, the theory is obvious. I don't think if I sat anybody down and said that, they'd be like, no, that's not how you should do it. The problem is more doing it while you have to manage all the other units and you're on a negative tick. That can be very frustrating. So where you want to put the bomb is you use the LOS tool, and you... okay, it's there. So you'll notice that's where he originally put it, and then he put it in the middle, I think. It might have been because he lost vision or something, I don't know. So, yeah. The tick is +1 now. And, yeah, red basically ain't gonna run out of infantry, right? And some of the squads are pretty big. That must have been a side shot on that meep there. But yeah, for Red's perspective, like he didn't bring the Okranas in the Melter, which is a core card on 56Y, and he didn't bring the grenade launchers, the infantry grenade launchers. So he can't kill the blue infantry as fast as he would have been able to. Meanwhile, blue does have the pivots, and as you, that was a 14-man squad a second ago. Now it's 7. So. And he was in a building. So this will slowly kill those because it's got a full power sniper, not a DMR. And yeah, Bluey's smoking. It's good to see the smoke. I'm expecting at some point to see a slammer. Because the slammers also, like, once you're in this position where... because like presumably Red's gonna put a CV in over here or something, right? That's slammer territory, right? Now you come on and slam and just kill the CV. Obviously you have to buy 2 of them and it takes a while. Well, I mean you start with 1, right? Slowly buy the second one. But at this point on this map, with this div, at this time, you'd definitely expect to see at least 1 slammer out by now. So defensive helo's very effective, as you can see. He did not immediately leave the building, so he's probably going to die. But he went to 0 cohesion, and then it decides to shoot the other one. I need to make a separate video about that, it's really dumb. But that's why you right-click that there to ensure it dies. And so, I'm not sure what he's doing. He just saw his mate get shredded by the helo, and he's like, I'm gonna run into it and die. And now he's just lost 3 squads. So that's not fantastic, really. Completely preventable, so it's not great. And this goes back to the point in the deck review about 3 cards of supply. You can tell he's running out of supply, and he hasn't even brought the R2. So yeah, 101st Airborne, for whatever reason, you need 3 cards. Well, okay, for easily understood reasons. The helos constantly need repairing. The meeps constantly need repairing, and the artillery needs resupplying. So yeah, this should. I mean, it's probably just dead now anyway. Yes. Oh my god, what is he doing? Has that been? It's not been given an order. It's just gonna sit there. Okay. I mean, he was smart to go for the lowest HP one, right? Because the Chinooks have more HP. This is 8 and 10% ECM, and this is 10 and 20% ECM. So he was smart to go for that, but he didn't kill it. So. No. So yeah, you can see why people get upset at Surrounded. It requires intense infantry micro concentration because, you know, this isn't a building anymore, it's dead. Admittedly, it used to be a lot harder to see everything because it was white on white, but when they switch it to dark mode, for whatever reason, the grass becomes fluorescent green. Makes it easier to see, paradoxically. Oh my god, please reverse, or do something. Anything. I know, he drove that one closer in so he could die with his friend. Smoke! So yeah, that's rough, man, because he got in and then it was like, okay, now it's my turn to throw. Oh, that's not ideal either. It probably wouldn't have killed it, actually. And now it's, wow, this thing killed something? It's quite rare to see that. Because it does 4 damage. Yeah, interesting. So, yeah, I mean, it's tough. Basically, you got to bind a hotkey to this auto cover thing so that you can quickly switch it off. I actually play with it off now, but that presents its own challenges. And then you right click just behind the building, switch off the auto cover, and then they'll sit just behind the building. You can't really play on Surrounded without that tech. Incidentally, his opponent's not doing it either, so I suppose they're even Stevens on this, but the idea is as soon as you start getting shot, you just go behind the building. And you just stay there until you know, whatever shot you is dead. or, you know, you can just peek back out. But yeah, I do wonder what the plan is here. To just sort of walk into the enemy and die as this helo just kills more and more of these very good, expensive squads because they just walk into it. It's quite depressing to see. So we got some CV, but this will just kill that as soon as it goes in. So hopefully he's paying attention so that he can just immediately... I mean, he knows it's there because he's shooting it. So he should get behind this building. Yes? Well, perfect, perfect. Right, so that's good to see. And yeah, the meeps, you know, you got to keep them healed and stuff. And yes, the DAP is on the board. He's got a smoke now. The Eagles are up, so he's sent the Eagles on it. Is he gonna? He's probably already used his smoke. It's fire and forget missile. So, did you notice how Shai there sent his fighter first to soak up the bullets of any potential AA, and therefore the bomber would have a better chance of getting to the target? So, like when this is coming towards you, just reverse. Don't be like, I need those 3 extra points on the board. It's much because if this dies, you have to buy another one, and it's going to come from all the way back here. Well, he timed it perfectly, though. He knew it was going to die. So yeah, the attrition rate has been absolutely monumental. Everybody's dead. It's pretty crazy. Both divs, of course, have a lot of infantry, but 56Y gets more than 101st Airborne, especially because most of his stuff's at 2 vet, or a lot of his stuff is at 2 vet. That wasn't quite behind the thing, so it died. I think this got it. Oh, yeah, you'd be dead anyway, actually. So it probably was behind the thing. It's just this is firing across, so... So yeah, that's probably going to die. Yeah, it's looking pretty diabolical for Blue at this point in the game. He just doesn't have... I mean, the meeps are very, very hard for his opponent to kill. But he just keeps walking his infantry forwards into the helos and losing them. Just wait for the stingers. Like, look, he's still doing it. It shot him, and it... Okay, there we go. We got the pivots on it now. Just because it drove into it. I mean, I like the idea behind the smoke. That's cool. So AT plane's back, right? That's the best way of killing the meeps. But he's just right-clicked on... Okay, so this... Oh, it's facing the wrong way. I mean, it could have survived that hit if it was facing forwards. And this guy... Okay, you got him. I was going to say, it looked like he wasn't right-clicked on him. He shouldn't have evac that. He should have left it up until his next fighter's up. You need the fighter up all the time, or the meeps are going to keep dying like that, basically. But we got the Green Brace Helo-born CV coming in. And we've still got this problem with the helicopters killing everybody, and no stingers. Chaparral, okay, I mean, stingers are best in this kind of environment. Stingers are the pivads, right? The pivads is the anti-infantry. Admittedly, the reason I'm saying stinger now is because there isn't that much infantry, but he doesn't know that, so the pivads would still be the better option. But yeah, I mean, this is... he just keeps losing all the guys. Admittedly, if this shoots all its rockets at the meep, which doesn't do anything, now he's free to roam the Earth. And yeah, you want to go building to building, right? Cover to cover. But, like, this isn't cover. I'm pretty sure it's not. It might actually be. It probably is, actually. But, like, this wouldn't be. Because this is actually some sort of pond as opposed to trees. So this hasn't been given an unload order. Shift U, yeah, Shift U. And you don't try and unload it on top of the... No, it's just got an attack order, so it's just gonna... Right, he's unloaded it. I thought it was gonna die then. I thought this was just gonna kill it. When you see the HMGs are really effective against the helos. You saw both helos die there, 2 HMGs. So that's the sound of an Apache. And, yeah, Blue, like he's sort of getting in, right? There's actually... Red's just kind of... Everybody's dead. I'm not sure how that happened, really. I suppose it's... He was kind of doing the same thing, which is like infantry trying to move between the buildings and dying as a result of it. But yeah, the map's great training for infantry combat. I mean, I'll admit, that's probably what I'm best at in this game. My armoured play is actually quite weak. So, I love this map. And yeah, I mean, it looked like Red had won, but Blue was able to bring it back. His loss rate was pretty atrocious, but I mean, at this point, I don't really see what Red can do. Right, keep in mind, something like this costs 195 points, so if he loses that there, which, I mean, he lost the first one, and this one will die, because this is going to shoot it, and there he goes. I don't understand why he doesn't right-click the enemy fighters. basically you want, as soon as you buy a fighter, right, you select all your fighters and do Control 2. Control 2. Oh, you can use whatever number you want, but I use 2. And whenever you press 2, it's going to select all your fighters. So whenever you see something, you don't have to go back here, click that, right-click this. No, you just press 2 right-click, and then you go back to whatever it was you were doing here. But yeah, the smoke's good. He's got the smoke coming in for the CVs and stuff. So you like to see that. That's really good. And he cleared this one out with the Aero Scouts, and now he's on a +3? Or will it be a +4? It'll be a +3. Which is enough. And red, like, he has no units left. I mean, admittedly, you know, he's got some stuff here, but... Yeah, what a turnaround. What a turnaround. And now he's just desperately sending in CVs, but there's nothing in front of him, so... And they're not going to make it. That's crazy. Quite surprised by that. He never bought his slammers. I suppose he didn't really have time to with the pace of the game, but yeah, I mean, I'm going to assume that's game, because this is just going to show up and then die, right? So yeah, that was it was a good game. I mean, obviously, you know, the KD was there's a lot of people died today. And look at that meep. Wow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, including 3 helicopters. So, yeah, I mean, it all worked out in the end, right? Looking pretty shaky there for a while, but he pulled it back. So I thought that was a really entertaining game. Do let me know what you think. I'll see you in the next one. GG.